Play me some pimpin', man.
Oh, we ain't even started yet?
We ain't even started yet. Play me some pimpin', man.
Just doing some affirmations, that's all.
Some affirmations.
Affirmations.
Gotta play some pimpin' while Snoop in here, let the mood get right.
All the way.
Because, you know, we already done named the tour Ghetto Legends, and that's all we gonna be bringing through the trap.
What we got?
And we got
Oh my God.
We got a 10-time OG in here.
100 times.
Undisputed OG.
Nope.
Speak on it.
30 years in the game.
No cap.
Hundreds of millions of records sold. A pop icon. A movie star. Not only is he a rap superstar, he owns the label that gave him his first record deal. It's making full circle. Probably a fucking billionaire at this point. The chief ambassador of smoking. None other than everybody's favorite uncle. Snoop Doggy Dogg. And we can literally quote this man's lyrics all day.
Oh my God.
Life lessons.
Put them Frenchies up if you ain't got no motherfucking Doberman, no Rottweiler, put them little bit ass puppies up.
Put them up.
Is that dog in my house?
Dog, we thought you could really turn into a Doberman.
No cap.
For real, though?
I thought you could turn into
When we
a
was,
Doberman.
I was like, man, if you do that at the show, I'm gonna lose my
Transition was too smooth. That nigga.
That shit, but the graphics for the time period.
His transition smooth as fuck into that dope. He was like, I ain't worried about it.
Turned into Cocker Spaniel smooth too.
Everybody turned into one. I'm like, niggas ain't with Snoop turning to dog.
Now I be smoking weed listening to Snoop.
You know
and
what?
I always wonder,
Say it.
how did you know them hoes was leaving at 6 in the morning?
No cap.
Because my mama was coming back at 7.
Come on, man.
So I had to make sure I got them out. See, I had bitches in the living room getting it on.
Getting it on.
You understand me? My mama wasn't home. If you watch the video, mom's told a nigga, look, I'll be back.
Right.
Don't have none of them fast-tailed girls up in here.
Right.
And definitely don't have the dog gun in here. As soon as she left, I, bam, had them all up in there, but I had a stopwatch on and say, hey, man, we got to get up here. But then we stopped looking at the clock and we was partying and mama came home.
The mama came home.
And Pop shot the party up.
I want everybody out.
Everybody!
All right, we want to take it all the way back.
Take it back.
Because everybody who's a real hip-hop fan know that we got the Snoop Dogg debut on the Deep Cover soundtrack.
Like that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What year was that?
shit.
91,
New Face, what
right?
year was that?
92?
91, 92?
May 92?
Got my hip-hop historian in the house
Born
the
that.
other day.
I was
So
born.
Say that.
I brought him here for
that.
reference and dates and research
He
purposes.
know that. He know
Yeah,
everything.
nigga
So-
was young and fresh back then.
Jumping it off with the Deep Cover
Deep Cover.
soundtrack.
And you don't stop.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, hit this shit. Think you 5-0. Been dealing with you for 2.5 months. You ain't hit this shit yet.
Yeah.
What you saying? What you saying, Snoop?
Deep cover. Nigga
Tyrone
pissed on
Big.
He
Lawrence
ain't even know how
Fishburne's
deep I just hit
shoes.
him with, right? Did I go deep on him?
Oh, hell yeah.
Went deep on him, movie scene like.
Come on. So it's like, we saw you become a rap star and a movie star, and now we seeing you become a fucking label owner.
Right.
The label that gave you your chance, man, how you gonna pick that up and keep that torch going?
You know what? It was like, I done so much in this music industry, it was like I had forgot about my legacy. I was so far ahead of it to where I was doing things and working with different musicians and spanning different genres. Then I had to think back to myself. I was like, damn, I don't own Doggy Style. I don't own the Dog Father. Them my first 2 records. That's like my 2 feet to stand on. So I'm like, I gotta figure out how to get that shit back. So for many months and shit, I tried to position myself as a businessman to go try to work it off. Like, you know, the people that had it, hey, let me come work for y'all and, you know, position myself to get my shit back through labor.
Right.
And then they wanted me to be a hoe. So, you know, the pimping, fuck y'all. I'm finna go over here to Def Jam and learn a little bit of corporate work, because I don't know corporate yet.
Right.
I only need a few months.
Right.
You give me a few months around the shit, I'll learn it. I'm a fast learner. Go to Def Jam, get a job in a position, drop a record, get Benny the Butcher signed, get Hip Hop Harry signed, learn a few tricks of the trade, find out that the niggas that had it that wanted me to hold for them, then sold it to some other people. So now, one of my big wig buddies called me and said, hey, dog, I know the people that got Death Row, and they don't know what to do with it. Let me holler at them. I know just what to do with it. So I hit them and like, let me work for y'all. The play was cool, but it's like, yeah, fuck that. How much to buy this shit? What you talking about? How much to buy Death Row first? How much for my masters? How much for all of the masters? How much for Suge Publishing? Give me all that shit. It's a stick up.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, man. Now, I've been following the play. Man. So the first thing you did was took all the music down.
It ain't up now.
Right.
You got to pay to hear this shit. See, because it's a business, right? See, what niggas don't understand is that thing they call stream, right? How much money you get a stream?
Bullshit.
Some cent.
Okay, so we're gonna have to restructure this shit.
Facts.
You get a penny point of a penny.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna restructure this shit.
Right.
I'm gonna pull it down. When I put it back up, you're gonna pay me a whole lot to put it up. And then my number's gonna look different than everybody else's when it come back up. If not, I'll hold on to it and I'll create my own app just like Disney and Stars and Hulu.
And 85 South, you know, we got an app.
Hello, and it will be a Death Row app where you can get it here, and your membership and your subscription will get you all the access to it whenever you want to. So however you want to play with me, I'll play back.
Right.
And then do you, with you buying all of the masters and getting all of the music back, do you have stuff that hasn't been released?
Oh yeah, it's a couple of records that's unreleased, and then I'm working with Tupac's estate right now because I got a great relationship with the people that's in control of his estate, and we doing some things together, so. And then Dr. Dre's Chronic album, you know, that's back in his possession now.
Come on, man. How that feel? How that feel to be
That feel
able to do
good
that?
to be able to do that, to get the label back was the shit, but to be able to break bread with the people that put you on, like, okay, this is yours, cuz, and then now next is to make sure, like, Daz and Corrupt and Rage and RBX, make sure all of they publishing and shit is right and the numbers is squared away, because in the beginning, shit wasn't right, but we know what's right. And now if I control it, it's my job to make sure that it's
right.
corrected, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's what it
Because you're in
is.
position to see what you did. Like you said, you didn't know corporate. Now that you learned, you like, still into this day, to this day in your time in your career, you're still learning in the game that you've been in.
I came in a student. That's the first thing I came in as a student. If you really watch my career, I was a student. I was studying the industry, and then when I got in with Dre, I was his backup. Exactly, right there with him, learning. I didn't want the star. I wanted to make him a star. Listen to the Chronic. It was all about him. That's a lot of my penmanship, a lot of my direction, and mostly his production, his overseeing. But it was about him. It was about putting the energy in Dr. Dre. We all was about him. Like, fuck that. We want Dre to be the dopest ever. Then when it was my turn, he gave me that same energy back. But then at the same time, I was in control of the pen for myself. So it was just a beautiful marriage.
Did y'all know at that time when y'all was creating the Chronic and Doggy Style, did y'all know as you was creating it that it was gonna end up being what it was ended up being, or did you just know you had something special?
I think like that was like my first real experience, but Dre had been around Magic before. He had been with the Wrecking Crew, Eazy-E, NWA, Michelle A, DOC, Blood Law, Ice Cube. Like he knew what shit felt like when it was the shit. We was just some niggas from the hood that was like, nigga, that shit banging. And every time we knew shit was banging, if it was our shit or other nigga shit, it was the shit. So it's like now we picturing like a Run DMC album or fucking whoever the fuck is hot at the time, we figuring like, shit, our shit sound better than they shit. And with no disrespect.
Right.
But it's like when you listening to it and you making it, it's like, damn, this shit hitting a little. Like right now when niggas making hot music, they knowing who shit is like, nigga, when you in the studio, when niggas in that motherfucking, yeah, this shit fucking everybody's shit up. That's what that was. And at that time, it wasn't as clogged up as it is now. Right now, you got 30,000 records that come out every day.
Right.
Did you hear the number I just said?
Yes, I did.
30,000 records that come out every day.
Minimum.
Every day. Back then, it was probably like, shit, nigga, 1,000 records come out a month.
Yeah, because you had to go get them bitches back then.
Quality shit, nigga. It's like, nigga, you can't be bullshitting. And guess what? Two niggas can't sound alike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to have your identity.
How was Michael and Prince gonna survive if they sounded alike?
Right.
Somebody gotta go.
Snoop,
Can't have a rhyme flow like the last nigga.
let me ask you this. Like, looking back, in hindsight, all these years later, East Coast, West Coast, the beef, the media part, what the fuck was that? And how much do you think that cost the hip-hop community? Just looking back at the total damage that shit done.
The media do their job. That's their job. I always say all publicity is good publicity when it comes to me. I know how to maximize that shit. Everybody else don't. So they just do their job. Their job is to keep up confusion and to keep shit the way they want it to be. But now, like I say, y'all growing up in a different era. Nigga, y'all are the media. Based off of a podcast, Instagram, fan base. That's the media. We didn't have that control. Nigga, when we said something, they printed what they wanted to print. They print half of what we said.
It took you 6 months to see what they wrote.
Bring the worst shit.
You know what I mean?